From the furniture scandal in December 1990 to the light bulb scandal in November 2008, allegations of corruption stalked the People's National Party, PNP, during its record stay in office. Neither the brilliant chandeliers acquired by politicians which triggered the furniture scandal nor the hundreds of light bulbs from Cuba would have any radiating effect on the PNP. The party has already admitted that it took a battering from the corruption allegations during its 18 years in government, and there is no question that it served up a full menu of so-called scandals. The names of many prominent PNP stalwarts were mentioned in the questionable activities labelled scandals by a suspicious public. Former Prime Minister PJ Patterson and PNP officer Vin Lawrence were prominent in the Shell waiver and Sandals White House scandals, respectively. Other PNP ministers had their encounters with alleged scandals. Carl Blythe, as Water and Housing Minister, faced his questions in the Operation Pride scandal. Information Minister Colin Campbell featured in the Trafigura affair, Junior Energy Minister Kern Spencer in the Cuban light bulb, Technology Minister Philip Paulwell in NetServe and, well, some others. Excerpt from Gleaner article published Sunday, July 04, 2020.
Now, in today's video, I'm here to highlight the reasons why most Jamaicans consider PJ Patterson the worst Prime Minister to ever serve the people of Jamaica. PJ's political career was derailed in 1980 general election when he lost that election and lost his constituency to a man by the name of Euphemia Williams, after which he made the now famous speech, "I shall return." PJ was handed the Prime Minister job in the year 1992 after Michael Manley had stepped down and retired from representational politics. But PJ went on the following year to win the general election, defeating Edward Seaga. PJ held the post as Prime Minister for Jamaica from the year 1992 to 2006. PJ had never lost a general election. Okay, that was just an overview of PJ Patterson's life and political career. Now let's get to the meat of the matter as to why PJ is considered the worst Prime Minister amongst many Jamaicans. Firstly, in the year 1996, PJ Patterson put up JPS, that's Jamaica Public Service, for sale. However, the sale did not went through because the 3 bid that came in, the government was not satisfied with that price. However, in the year 2001, JPS was sold to Myrant, who acquired an 80% ownership in the month of March 2001 in JPS. Secondly, between the year 2002 and 2005, PJ fixed the price of bauxite while production costs went up and the aluminum price went down. And at this time, bauxite was one of our main contributors to the national GDP. PJ also sold the government majority stake in the state-owned company Jamalco to an overseas entity. PJ sold the government 43% stake in cement company to a Trinidadian company who still holds control of cement company up to this day. He sold our national airline, which is Air Jamaica, which gave Jamaicans across the world a sense of pride. He sold the Norman Manley International Airport in the year 2003. He sold Donald Sangster International Airport that same year to a Mexican company who is currently the owner of both airports in Jamaica. His party was in control of the government when the garment and manufacturing company exited out of Jamaica. This industry provided a lot of jobs for Jamaicans across the country, and I know it was devastating for enough Jamaicans who was laid off. I know this for a fact because I was affected by this firsthand. I should have mentioned, when Myron purchased JPS in 2001, couple years after, they sold it to a next American company by the name of Mary Benny. At the time, Mary Benny was filing for bankruptcy in the United States of America. Soon after they purchased JPS and came to Jamaica, they raised the light bill on the general public which see the company's profit went to an all-time high. Soon after, they withdrew their bankruptcy filing from the United States federal government. They then came out in a press release and said PJ Patterson was their chief advisor. All these companies PJ had sold in the late 90s and early 2000s. If these companies were still under the governance or the running of Jamaican, it would be a total different argument as it relates to our economy. Because at no time a company like JPS should be privatized. This company shouldn't be for profit. The country Jamaica or the government of Jamaica own absolutely nothing in this country. PJ sold out all of it. They always said, it's not the same day leaf drop a water bottom it rotten. And this is a true testament to Jamaica. Because at the time when PJ sold all these companies from Jamaica, it wasn't affecting it. It seems like the best decision at the time. But now, 10 to 15 years on, it seems to be the worst decision Jamaica has ever made. One Prime Minister single-handedly sold all the major industries in the country. Just imagine if Jamaica did still have control of cement company, JPS, the airports. The country would be in a much better state as it relates to the economy. The two main indicators which indicate how good a Prime Minister has done during his tenure at the top seat in the country is how that Prime Minister handles the crime situation and how that Prime Minister handles the economy. And I'm going to now give you the numbers as it relates to PJ Patterson when he was the Prime Minister. When PJ took over the country as Prime Minister in the year 1992, the loss of life for that year was 629. When PJ left the office in the year 2006, the loss of life for that year was 1,340, which is about 120% increase in loss of life, which is very bad because for most of his time, the loss of life was over 1,000 for the year. And he also oversees one of Jamaica's most bloodiest year, which is 2005. As it relates to the economy, in the year 1992, when PJ took over Jamaica, the GDP for the country was $3.5 billion. When he left in the year 2006, the GDP was $11.9 billion US. The economy had grown, so I can give him props for that. However, when compared to some of the other Caribbean islands within the same time frame, this is a joke as it relates to percentage and growth of the economy. One example is Trinidad and Tobago. During the same time period, Trinidad left from 5 billion to 18 billion. And not to mention all of the scandals that rocked the PNP party when PJ Patterson was the Prime Minister. Namely, the FinSoc scandal, the Cuban light bulb scandal, the Goodyear call center and Tech Village scandal, the NSWMA scandal, the Traffic Bureau scandal, the NHT scandal, the NetServe scandal. These are just to name a few. You can pause your screen and look at the rest of them. In conclusion, I'm not saying PJ Patterson was a bad person or a bad individual. However, he made multiple bad decisions while being the Prime Minister of Jamaica for